I should say this thing. Absurd is a term that we discuss in Odia, that is Udbhata. Actually, whether you all belong to Odisha or any other states, if you don't have idea regarding this Odia language, you cannot realize what does this Udbhata or absurd mean by. It's a peculiar type of things, right? Uh, we get some sense out of dialogues. There are certain purpose of all writings, be it poem, be it novel, be it story, whatever literature we read, we get certain idea. We understand something at the time of reading or at the time of watching the matter, we get certain idea. But abstract literature, it's not at all interesting. And there is no purpose, but very important purpose is there. It is purposeless, but the purpose that you find out of this absurd literature very purposeful, very important. And whenever dialogues are taking place among characters, we get certain meaning out of their conversation. But we don't understand a thing, anything at all out of the dialogues of absurd drama. Suppose you asked me, sir, would you like to engage class today? And I answered, today morning I got up at 6 o'clock. I did all my morning work completed by 8 and prepared myself for going to college. So this type, your question is one, but my answer is another, right? And these sorts of things. And if you ask that, what did you have in your lunch today? I told, I expect better dinner in night. It means that the conversation is found very purposeless, meaningless. The characters are not appropriate characters. Why they sit, why they talk, what things they're going to do, everything is found meaningless and purposeless. So these sorts of things that we find in absurd literature. And we all lead an absurd life because we all are fighting for our existence, to establish our existence in society, right? And if you write poem, if you participate in politics, if you are becoming a rich man, the purpose is voting for, I'm talking about voting for Godot, but I'm not direct hint on that point, right? I am talking about absurdity. And after that, we can able to understand that absurd drama of Samuel Beckett, Waiting for Godot. Okay, you see, it is a crisis of existence. Crisis of existence means we all are busy to leave our footprints after our departure from this earth. We're trying for that. And we do not know the purpose of our birth because we are here. It was not our expectation. We did have a dream to take birth on this earth. And we will die. We don't want to die, but we will die. We did not want to come to this earth, but we came to this earth. And in the meantime, this middle portion, in the middle time, man is struggling hard for his existence. There are so many rich persons on this earth. Do you remember their names? There are so many politicians on this earth in every remember their names. Even if you are asked to know the important portfolios of some important ministers of our state, you just cannot say because it was once upon a time. Okay, the main feature of absurd drama is it's meaningless. Everything you can find meaningless. This is the gist of absurdity. But in spite of all this nothingness, we are trying to find something out of nothing. Right? And this is great things that we find in absurdity. We find four important characters, they always come before us in Waiting for Godot, right, of Samuel Beckett. And he had published an article, The Myth of Sisyphus. And Sisyphus, it's a symbolic expression. And what did he do? Every day he rolled a ball, stone ball, up to the mountain to keep that on the top of the mountains. He tried very hard to lift that ball and to keep that on the top of the mountain. The moment he kept that on the top of the mountain, again that rolled down. Again he's trying to keep that, he's taking that and rolling that stone ball to reach on the top of the hill. He's doing the same thing. And every day he's doing, but he's not succeeded putting the stone ball on the top of the hill. Right? And this is the action of every and each individual. We all are trying to keep our existence on this earth. And so, but it become impossible on our part. And you must have heard an oily pillar, an oily pillar. And the pillar, the monkey is trying to reach on the top of that oily pillar. He's just trying to climb, but he slipped down. He come back again. He's trying to go up, but he cannot able to climb up that oily pillar because it is oily. And these are the symbolic expression of absurdity. And the features that you want to know the meaning we expect, we don't find. We have four characters. There is no woman characters in Waiting for Godot, right? It's Vladimir, Extragon, Pujo, and Loki. And these things actually taking place after World War, Second World War. And these the depression. And people, they realize meaning of life, that the thing that we are doing on this earth, a single war can turn everything into ashes. So why man does hard labor to hold his property? Why man educate himself to become somebody and something in future? Why man writing literature? Because he will be remembered after his death. Because these are the things. And what the man achieved doing hard labor since childhood till end of the war, he found all his income, all his labor, all his establishment, all his reputation, everything come to zero level. He had reached on top, 100% succeeded in his life. But again, he come back to zero level. Even if he will die in warfare, in battle. So life became useless. And when the atom bomb was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the entire city, both Hiroshima and Nagasaki, turned into ashes, only the devastation of the city is seen after the war was ended, 1945. A kind of frustration, kind of depression, kind of alienation, these sorts of feeling overcrowded the mind of human being on this earth. Okay, so out of this frustration, out of this frustration, that a kind of thought that created in mind of Albert Camus. So he wrote The Myth of Sisyphus in 1950, and this essay became the foundation of absurdism and existentialism. So that Samuel Beckett, he wrote this drama, absurd drama, with four characters: Vladimir, Estragon, Pujo, Loki, a messenger, and Godot. Right? And throughout the drama, we see it is expressed symbolically. Two characters, Vladimir and Estragon, one is master, other one is servant. And he has tied a rope by his waist, and he is holding that, and he is carrying all the luggage all the necessary and unnecessary things, right? And both are talking in between them. When they talk, their talk is very nonsensical, no value of life, nothing else, nothing else. And this very feelings that we find at the very outset of this drama, and we find Extragon who is suffering a lot inside, and the master who is mastering upon the servant, the same master is also suffering from life. And you may ask me questions, what sort of suffering was going on there in them, and how could you know that? Their action, their expression, and they're talking about a messenger has come and who had given them a news that we you have to for the arrival of God. Godot Godot will come tomorrow. Listen, that tomorrow never comes to life at all. Tomorrow is tomorrow, right? And tomorrow, when that reaches with us, you'll find that in past form. We spent 59 minutes thinking about our past, 1 minute for our future. And we do not have time. Yes, any questions, please unmute and ask me. Deleted from that message. Anyone wanted to know that? Actually, you see, everything we wait, for everything we wait in our life. And waiting is the substance of our life, right? The concept of God that makes us mad. We are educated, we have developed our personality, we have developed our mindset out of our environment, out of our surroundings. So our education, our idea, our knowledge is nothing but the sum total understanding of our surrounding. And that total information, knowledge means we have some information. Our mind is filled with information. We say that he's a knowledgeable man. And because he has a lot of information with him. So with that information, we justify ourselves a wise man, right? So wise means I have little knowledge, but I don't have a little knowledge. I may not have a little knowledge. Very little portion we have got in our life. Taking that, we think ourselves great. And when Vladimir and Extragon Both are waiting for Godot. The concept of God is nothing else, right? The knowledge of God we have got from our scholars, pedants, religious persons. The way they have understood religion, they have taught us. They feed us. And with that information, we say we became a pedant. We became a learned one. That became, that is the identity of our knowledge. And in existentialism, that denies us this thing. The identity that you get, that is not the real identity, right? The knowledge you get, that is not a sum total of information. You can say yourself a knowledgeous person.
Sir,
Okay,
excuse me, sir. I have a question.
okay.
Sir, in absurd drama, um, does the playwrights deal with God? Means that I'm asking if they have this pantheism or paganism.
Okay. Again, I want to, a voice could not come to me clearly.
Yes. I said, sir, does the absurd drama deals with God in the sense of pantheism or paganism? Is it
Uh,
related to Christianity or Protestantism or believing in nothing?
no, absurdism, it's quite against any sorts of establishment that talks against God. It's a concept, it is an idea that you have been provided because the knowledge that you have grown with God, actually that is not your knowledge. You have been given that knowledge by someone else, by your surrounding, by your parents, by your family, by some of your near and dears. And if you have attended, if you have ever gone to church, you must have been told something else by the pope, by the bishop. They have told this is the religion. And what idea we got regarding God, it is interpretation of the religious persons. Jesus Christ had not written that Bible, and Muhammad had not written that Quran, and Krishna or Rama or the incarnations of any other community that we find, we worship, we admire, we adore. Actually, they have not done all these things. It is prepared by people after their departure, right? So the way they interpret, they make us understand. And due to that region, that there is a contention in between Catholicism and Protestants. Catholicism, it's that old view, old tradition, and the conservative attitude. What is told in the Bible, they have accepted that. And Protestants, they need certain reformation in thought, in expression, in understanding, but it is not accepted. What is told, it's final. It cannot be revised. It cannot be reformed. And these sorts of behavior, when they found, they separated themselves from that Catholic thoughts, right? So the Protestants, they were ousted from Britain and they went to America. Their 13 colonies was established by Protestants. So what is the things regarding God? God is one, but it is accepted in different ways. And the thought of God, and for that reason it is the critics, they say that God died. I just returned from graveyard burying the God. It means that the thought regarding Godhood existing in your mind, existing in your mind, it will disappear. That thought of Godhood will disappear from you after death. Right? God died for you. God may be alive for me, people those who are alive, but God has no value for the dead persons. Even if the same thing in existentialism and absurd theory, it is told in Waiting for Godot that Godhood, it is nothing else, but it is in the thought of neighborhood, thought of your family, thought of your community, because they are discussing a lot about God. And when there was war in between Britain and German, the Christians of German, they were praying in their church for the win of German. In the same time, the popes of Britain, they were praying for the victory of Britain in Britain. So, what do you mean? Jesus is Juan. He may be the messenger of the God, but he is told, he is appealed by two people of two countries. Then, what decision that God will take? Actually, this is nothing else. And the concept, the thought of Godhood is not real. So we are growing with that knowledge. We feel, we feel we are religious, we are spiritualist because we have gathered so much knowledge on religion and the religious scriptures that is not prepared by any God. Religious scriptures are prepared by human beings, and human beings, they have made God. If you are asked to draw the picture of God, then you can draw the picture of Jesus Christ. And and uh, if a man of Islamic community asked to paint the picture, he may paint the picture of some Messiah because they accept the emptiness. They don't they don't worship any idols. They worship the emptiness. And if you asked a man of Hindu community to worship, to paint the picture of God, then they will paint the picture of God, Krishna, Rama, all those incarnations. They know or they're taught about God, and they will paint their pictures. It means that, so if God is one, then how thought will be different? Because the thoughts given to human being are not the thought of God, it is the thought of the people, those are living in our surrounding. So they have spoiled our mind. They have made us so. They have created an environment in us so that we think in that way, we act in that way. We don't have any freedom at all. You just cannot think of anything else independently and freely because you are constrained. You are within the circle of religion. You are within the circle of community. And now we are living in such a time that it is high time to know, to understand the concept of God. We are told stories, and the stories appear before us like true. The characters that we read in stories, they appear before us like true characters. Actually, they are not true. Just because I'm not telling something against the entire human community. I'm because existentialism, this regime became great This regime changed the mindset of readers and let the readers understand and realize how literature should be read, how literature should be interpreted. You see that two persons are voting, Vladimir and Extragon, and they are waiting for Godot. What they speak, it became nonsense because it is not appropriate, because that man is not trying to understand what his master speaks. You see, we look like human beings, but in the real sense, we are not human beings. We deal like an animal. We behave like an animal. We are violent like animal, right? So outside we look better, we look gentle, we look with certain recognition, with certain identity, but inside we are suffering. Inside we are suffering. We are feeling the pain of agony because we all human beings, they feel this sort of thing. Why there is war? Why there is war? The war is because it is the warmonger. They want to occupy the country one after another. So Alexander was a man, but he tried to invade country one after another. What was the reason? What was the reason? And the reason was nothing, because only to establish himself, only to let the world know that I am the great conqueror, I am the great Alexander. You should remember me after my death. Okay. So what did he get at last? He destroyed, he killed. And what sorts of problems taking place on this earth? The major warfare took place due to war, due to religion. So one community does not accept other community. The principle in one community is not principle in other community. What is legal in one community, that is illegal in other community. We all are suffering from religious problems. We are suffering from that wealth. We are suffering from education. We are suffering from uh, writing. We are doing all the work. We are suffering from inventing and discovering something else. So it means that we keep to we want to keep ourselves involved with these busiest activities which has no meaning. And basically, the most of times that human beings spend for religion, for God. And Beckett wants to establish this thing here, that God sends messenger, or a messenger comes with a message. God is not well today. He told he would come tomorrow. What does it mean? And he wants to say that this is Godhood. This is the belief. This is the thing about religiosity. This is the thing about spirituality. And it is nothing else. You just wait an empty one, right? And we have made hell and heaven in literature. There is a hell, there is a heaven. In heaven, God and goddesses are there, and in hell, demons are there, devils are there, suffering is there, but in heaven, only peace prevails there. These sorts of things we are told in literature, and we are reading that, we are acquainted, and even if it is not understood by the readers, again, people are there, they are also taking a lot of care to make us understand regarding that Godhood, right? And if you say that the clergyman who delivered his speech in church, he tried to establish himself. You just cannot raise any questions to that man because he's the last man, he's the final man, and he represents to God. And we carry this idea. And if I've heard the story of three hermits, right? Three hermits of Leo Tolstoy, then you can understand what does it mean. Unless you take permission from church and Christian missionary, you cannot become either a nun or a monk. You need certain permission. And if you have committed any crime, any sin, then you have to confess yourself. Going to church, there is a room in church, confession room, and if you stand there, other side, that Pope and Bishop, you must be there, and you express your views, so that when you expressed your secrecy, you confess your crime went away from you. So that the certificate of salvation, indulgence, it could be sold. Is it practicable? Is it possible that man sells certificates of salvation? So these sorts of, because the world stands on a structure. What is the structure? The structure is nothing. The culture, religion, our economical policy, our politics, our technology, everything that stands on a structure, right? I was talking to you that after World War, all sorts of idioms are found and developed in literature because a great thought that we find in criticism are the new way innovated by the critics for the readers to understand the reality. We become very emotional. Vladimir and Extragon both are waiting very emotionally for the arrival of God. And the place where they wait, that is under a tree. That tree is not alive, that is a dead tree. Tree has no life there. They are waiting at certain place. The place symbolizes that this place is it's a barren place. There is no life, because that symbolizes Jesus, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, right? The crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And they are just sitting beneath that tree and waiting for Godot, that Godot may come tomorrow. And when Jesus Christ was crucified, just after 2 days and 3 days, on Easter Monday, again, he was seen on this earth, traveling, right? And he was also seen in the company of his disciples. It means that it implies that my death was not real death, and my life was also not a real life. So there is no difference between, he wanted to justify that I cannot die, because the thought of a person cannot die. A person, the body of a person may die, may be destroyed, because the five elements compose this body, that is chit, up, tejas, maruti, brahma, fire, water, ether, and earth. These five elements that compose combinedly our body, right? And this body may be destroyed, but the thought developed through this body, that cannot be destroyed, that will exist all times to come in this atmosphere, because the scientists, they're trying to discover this thing, that day may come a scientist could be able to discover these sorts of technology, that the voice of Einstein could be rescued from atmosphere. If atmosphere could be able to preserve everything, if all the ideas, all the knowledge and communication could be possible through this air and atmosphere, and this thing must be existing in atmosphere. This thing means the thought of Einstein must be existing in this atmosphere. So the thought never died. Body destroyed. Thought is not destroyed. Thought exists all times to come. And in existentialism, this sorts of misunderstanding that took place to human beings. Right? We know that let us do something during this life period so that people will remember us after our death. So for that we are struggling hard. We are struggling hard. We are killing to each other. We are preaching to each other. We are trying to build palatial building. And we know that this life is everything. And in the during lifetime, let us make the milestone of our own so that people will remember us in passage of time. And this thought always prevail throughout this drama waiting for Godot. And Vladimir is the master and Extragon is the shortcut. And Vladimir eats that chicken, he's eating that flesh and throwing that bone to Extragon, and Extragon is licking that bone, and this is the reality, and this is the reality of life in the on this earth, in our society. Some people are living better life, and because we need to know that, because Marxism, the feelings and the thought of Marxism prevailed all times in our society. And it is the bourgeois, it is the capitalist. They have made the structure of this society. So, on the structure of bourgeois and capitalist, the thought of economics, the thought of education, the thought of culture, the thought of science, the thought of mathematics, everything, all the knowledge have been developed on that structure, has been grown on that structure. We may say that superstructure when you'll find a discussion about criticism, you'll come to know about these sorts of things. The same thing, the same idea that we find in conversation or in the real life of society, we find some bourgeois are there, some capitalists are there. They don't take care of poor people, those who do not have any food at all to eat, and they're living in starvation, and they don't have shelter also. They're living, they're sleeping on footpath, they're living on a tree. So, and they cannot get clothes to put on. So many problems that we find with some people, and gorgeous life being maintained by some people on this earth, right? And it happens, the man who is king today, we find the same person become beggar tomorrow. What does
Sir,
it? Yes.
uh, sir, I have another question, please.
Okay.
Uh, can you talk about form and structure in Godot, please?
Structure,
Yes, form and structure.
form and structure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, it's a form and structure in the context that we discuss it now. It is the structure means on which the entire plot stands, I was talking about the same structure of society where our thought, our technology, our humanity, our personality, everything has been built up. This is the structure. Structure means a thought. Structure means a thought. Structure means a thought. And with that thought, on the on the on the same thought, the entire process is moving. Entire process is moving, right? So this is this is the structure in this context. In existentialism and absurdism, they talk about the structure of the society. Structure means thought of the society, the things they have accepted. They're telling the society has been has been disciplined only for this culture. Society has been disciplined due to this fragmentation. We have divided society into number of community, into number of race, right, clan, so that when all they mix together, they all maintain their own disciplines, and all disciplines of all communities became a common discipline of entire human society, for entire human society. And in existentialism, the thought that developed in human being, it is the structured thought of the upper class people. Some prevailing class people, they have made the structure of this society. And with this structure, everything out of structure, the form is made. Form is just part of it. Yes, class is going on, and you are expecting that why don't I discuss about the story of this waiting for Godot? Actually, there is no story at all in waiting for Godot. There is no beginning because every story has a beginning, middle, and end. And waiting for Godot has no beginning and no end. And whenever we come upon, we find two characters are sitting. They're talking. One is master, other one is. Only two acts are there. First act and second act. In first act, who do we find in prevailing condition? In second act, we find them in underprivileged condition. That both Vladimir and Extragon, Vladimir is master. But when we meet him, it's an absurd drama waiting for Godot. Along with that, we are also discussing absurdism and existentialism. That portion is also there in your literature. In MEG-5, that thing is there. And you have dramas, you have one absurd drama, you have one modern drama, you have one moral drama, you have comedy, tragedy of William Shakespeare. So many things are there, but you are talking about the script that we have got regarding this drama on waiting for Godot. I'm just discussing the entire things. I'm discussing the entire matter of waiting for Godot. When you get certain idea about this drama, then other blocks with different questions comes before you, you can sort out that. That will not be your problem. We are talking about character, we are talking about the gist, we are talking about the importance of the drama, we are uh, we are interpreting and we are analyzing, and we are also talking about the isms that prevail entire drama and keep the drama or the matter together. I'm discussing about this matter. So the portion that you find, you see, one thing I should say to all of you that whenever you come upon any class, you can get concrete idea regarding this matter, because a drama, it has been divided into number of blocks, and every and each block has certain importance, and you'll find questions on that matter, on that blocks. But the entire things that in online classes you cannot and we may not get enough time at all to go through all blocks. It is impossible. We will let you know this thing then, and I will also arrange an uh, question answer class where we can also interact regarding that problems of block and problems of that subject matter, because subject matter is more important for you. Thereafter you can enter into other aspects of the script that you have got from IGNOU, very very steep and very complicated things you may find with that, unless you understand the basic elements of the topic, the basic things that we discuss with you, very important things, so that you can get a bit idea regarding that matter, so that if you go through that after this discussion, I think that will go easier for you to understand. For that reason, and I cannot say you that I am discussing this block. I left that block and other blocks are there. In the meantime, we cannot get ideas about the. I will give you concrete idea about all blocks, not a particular block. Okay. So
Sir?
let. Uh, okay. Yes, there will
Yes,
come.
sir. Yes, sir. Can you please finish talking about structure and form?
I'm discussing the
Sorry
same
to
thing.
interrupt you. Because this point I don't get it يعني, in this play.
uh,
I
form and
find it a little bit difficult for me to get this idea of form and structure in this play.
okay. So I am talking about the structure. Structure means the entire drama, it stands on. This is the structure, and it stands on the thought of existentialism and absurdism. Okay, and the next thing, that what is the form? It's a form of literature. Okay, literature has different forms with different genera, with different genera. The form is the form that you want to know. It is nothing else. The things that we find with the structure, that is accepted as form, and you want to know, you want to particularize the form and structure, then you can differentiate in between these two things just at the end of our discussion. We are talking about existentialism. What is the problem of existence? that we find with characters of Samuel Beckett, with the characters of drama Waiting for Godot. And this is the structure. And with the structure of existentialism and absurdism. Structure means, suppose you have a structure of your own house, right? And then you are making so many things on that plinth, on that structure. Structure that talks about the foundation, that is the basic things on which the entire matter stands upon. It talks about that and what type of form is there, and literary form, right? Literary forms. So can you understand? If you, I do not know whether you had that honors or not. Literary forms. Suppose poetic forms. We have elegy, we have epic, we have lyric. These are the forms of literature, right? We have ballad. These are called form. Suppose we are talking about poetry, right? Our structure is poetry. Our structure is poetry. And when we dissect that, when we divide that, we find different forms. What is poetry? Has epic form. Poetry has elegy form. Poetry, or it is a dramatic monologue. Okay, and comedy of manner, right? Tragedy. These are the forms. When we discuss drama, we are discussing the structure of drama. There is a plot, there is a scene, there are dialogues, there are some hero, some heroine, and some villain, some main plots. Some, these are the structure that we find. But in drama, we have different forms. Different forms means there is tragedy, there is comedy, there is tragicomedy, there is historical play, there is absurd drama, absurd play. These are the forms. Okay, and with this drama, it stands on it stands on absurdism. The thought of existentialism prevails everywhere, with every character and with every plot in this drama, in Waiting for Godot. Okay, so the structure, it's absurd, or it is existentialism, right? And drama, it has different branches, different varieties, and you can accept the variety that you get here. That is the form. And you can understand, because if that is very, uh, all the things that we find, it is matching appropriately with our day-to-day affairs. Vladimir and Estragon, both they act as master and servant. And in next act, we find one of them who was master in previous act, he became servant, and the servant became the master. And they became deformed because they're suffering mentally. Inside, they are hollow, and outside, they look like human beings. So I don't know if you have read the poem of T.S. Eliot, The Hollow Man. We look like a human being. So the uh, idol of goddess Durga and a human being, there is no difference. And an idol or statue of a goddess Durga that looks beautiful, the appearance of human being, that also looks beautiful. But as the entire structure of Goddess Durga is with stick, straw, clay, and the artistic design and plan of artist is there. Similarly, inside the human being look very beautiful, and inside they don't have any independent thoughts because they have been designed. We have been designed. Our mind has been built, right? So, as per our mindset, our personality is determined. As per our environment, our personality is developed. As per our background, our knowledge, our idea, everything that grow with us. So this is the basic thing that we find with characters. So Vladimir and Pujo and Loki, Estragon, all these are very biblical characters. And these character they refers to existence of godhood and non-existence of godhood. So the thought of the structure that all the human beings, the mind of all human beings has been made, it is on the basis of religion, on the basis of community, on the basis of godhood. And there is no God, there is no reality. We just all run after a fiasco. We just run after an empty thing, empty thing. So that is why it is told you think yourself. You just try to understand yourself. You dissect your activities. You dissect your thoughts. Then you will stand as God. If you are asked to draw the picture of God, then you will draw the picture of God in your understanding. And someone who is taught about Godhood, if he is given to draw the picture of God, then he will draw in terms of his understanding. It means that understanding makes us a human being in different ways, in different with a different attitude. So this is the thought of existence. This is the structure. This is the structure of our thought, of our society. And this thought and this structure, it has been designed by privileged class people as per Marxism. The upper class people, they have made law, they have made ethics, they have made community, they have divided only to provide better administration. And who is great now, tomorrow he will be small, and the small one will be greater one. And it means that nothing is permanent. No value is permanent. No thought is permanent. Everything is impermanent. And we all are running after these temporary things. We all are running after these impermanent things. If everything is impermanent, then why should we seek for uh, permanence thing? This is the problem. This is the for this reason, human being is enduring since birth till death. He is trying to leave his footprints on the sand of times, and only for that reason he is trying his best, and he is struggling hard to establish his name, to establish his knowledge, to establish his idea before everybody else. and he will make a name for himself before he left this world. Now the character you see, Puju and Loki, they are also suffering a lot. And the dress they wear and the appearance they bear, the thought they carry, everything that one deals with another human being like animals. And there is no equality. And Jesus Christ talks about if Jesus Christ's uh, society that we live, then we should accept the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of men. And there is no division, there is no community, there is no different type of religion. So humanity is the only religion. To help each other, to cooperate each other, to behave each other. So who is rich, who is poor, that is not the matter. The poor is a human being and rich is a human being. Vladimir, the master, is a human being, and Extragon, the servant, is also a human being. Pujo is a human being and Loki is a human being. So all are human beings. The messenger, when he comes with the message, all times, several times he has come and appeared on the stage. Whenever he comes with this message, God will come tomorrow. You wait. We wait for education. We wait to get affection. We wait to get married. We wait to become rich. We wait for everything. Waiting is the common thing in life of all human beings. We don't realize that. We don't understand this. And drama comes from middle portion that characters are waiting for Godot, and Godot has never come. Only the assurance has come with the messenger that God would have arrived tomorrow. And God did not come. We found they were waiting. At the end of the drama, we found the four characters, same four characters, they're waiting for the God. And one tells, no, God will never come. Other, in Spanish, don't say that God is there, God will come. We'll have to meet God. And in Myth of Sisyphus, Albert Camus, he speaks the same thing. Man is doing labor from birth to death. In this absurd theory, you have chair, you have the outsider, right? And this type of things you'll find the characters are very quite indifferent. They have understood the life, the reality. One of the characters that we find that Morseless who talks that who smokes cigarette after death of his mother, and he is hanging in between two deaths. You can realize the thought and the structure of existentialism. That if a mother died, a son he break down, and he cannot endure the death of his mother. And in many cases, this happens that sometimes due to emotion that we find children or the child commits suicide because he cannot endure the absence of their mother. But we find in outsider, the main character hero is smoking cigarette and living in other world, at the death of his mother, because he is left free from jail only with this condition that you go and attend the funeral ceremony of your mother. When she is buried, you just come back, because you will be hanged after this. Because he is declared that he will be hanged. And in the meantime, his mother died. His hanging is waiting for him, and he is going to attend the death ceremony of his mother. You see, the man who died, we are crying for that. But we have forgotten we will die after some times. Right? A mortal, a mortal is crying for a mortal man. But this never happens. An immortal never cries for a mortal man. We are mortal, and who died, he was mortal. And if it is sure that he is died, he lived life for some days, and we are living life, we will also die. This understanding is not there with us. And just after returning from burial ground, we forget all about that. And it is told that Smasana Vairagya, then again, we keep ourselves busy in our day-to-day activities. The same competition, the same fighting, the same violence, the same prayer. It's a chaotic things, chaotic structure that human being is living. But we don't, we don't find any time at all to realize this matter, to understand this matter. And we spend maximum times in prayer. But there is one credit will go to Christian society. They never engage all the times for praying to God and worshipping and observing all that ceremonial activities, religious activities on God, what happens in case of other communities. Even if maximum things that happens in case of Hindu communities, and less in Muslim community, and very less in Christian community. Only Sunday, only day, you 7 days keep yourself engaged in your day-to-day activities, but only one day is there, it's Sunday, you may keep yourself engaged with God activities. You try to keep the diary that you maintain, and when you come to this place, that is the place where you interpret your activities. They have made 6 days out of 7 days, and you confess that, you realize that, you interpret that, and you rectify yourself, and you reform yourself. Thereafter, you will become you will become a true human being. Okay, so these are the things that people are waiting for God, but God is not there. We have forgotten all about this. So had God there, if God were there, then all sorts of disturbances should not take place in society. If God was there, then Vladimir would not treat Extragon ill, or Pujo would not misbehave, would not beat Loki in this way. One was blind, and when in Act 2, both became blind and dumb. It means that, so your happiness is not permanent, your suffering is not permanent. So darkness is not, light is not permanent, but darkness is permanent. And whenever that light comes to you, you can feel happy, right? Its pain is all times with you. And when there is relaxation out of that pain, you may accept that as, uh, as happiness, as pleasure of your life. So in waiting for Godot, the very title justify that we all are waiting for Godot. We are praying, God bless me, God save me, God do that, God do this. We are doing that. Is God extending his help to us? Because God is not a human being. God is a thought. And we develop that thought in us. But if you accept that as the reality, it becomes a mistake in life of humanity. So that's why when this question was asked to Lord, to Buddha, so have you met with God during your meditation that you did for 6 years? And he did not have any answer at all, because I have not seen God. Whether he is existing or not existing, I didn't have any idea. But I have understood myself. But I have discovered the cause of suffering. Why men suffer? Because there is a desire. And if you seal your desire, then there will be end of your sorrow. He discovered that. He discovered only the cause of suffering. Right? But it does not mean that end of suffering means, end of desire means, end of pain, and there is starting of or beginning of happiness. He has told nothing about that, because happiness, it's very subjective, it's very personal matter. It's a happiness that comes out of understanding, right? So so in waiting for Godot, we come upon suffering. We don't we don't find any happiness there, right? So who do you accept as happiness of your life? The same happiness stands as unhappiness, and stands the cause of unhappiness of your life, right? And very pertinent thing has been discussed in waiting for Godot. Both Vladimir and Extragon, they are embracing to each other. And in that embracing, they're trying to understand life. And one thing you can compare it here. Suppose you like a person most, and you want to embrace that person for some times. How long you can keep that person in embracing? After some times, both of you will try to live from each other, because that pleasure turned up pain after some times. So that happiness is not permanent. Happiness is not permanent, but unhappiness is permanent. And we feel end up unhappiness when a moment of pleasure comes and stands before us. and that pleasure is nothing else but that is the next step of other shape and form of unhappiness. You say that very scientifically. We read literature emotionally, but you may not find any emotion here, because who do you like most? We all, the viewers and readers, we fall in love of hero. We don't have any support at all for the villain, because we neither related directly or indirectly with the hero, nor directly indirectly with the villain. But the attitude and expression and dealings activities of two persons, that takes different appreciation from the audience. Who does good work, he is appreciated. Who does bad work, he is depreciated. The matter is that the matter is that when we just end the thing, when there is marriage of hero and heroine, we find a lot of pleasure because that thing happened up to our expectation. But we don't move after that. How do they spend their couple life? Because you'll find no couple is happy in their married life, because both husband and wife try to find out fault with each other, and the wife is referring the activities of neighbors husband, and husband is referring the activities and beautiful characters uh, of all the neighborhood wives. It's because both are not living happy life. Both, they accidentally, they emotionally accepted each other, but they had never realized about reality. So due to lack of understanding, we forget all about our absurdity. We are giving much importance about our existence. So if we all are standing, if an important person appeared before us, we all are fighting with each other to stand before him, to take photograph with that man, because we want to be alive with that great personality. So the child who could not able to come to take that snap with that illustrious person, he find pain, because I have no scope to stand beside such great personality to take a photograph. And you thought that because you have money, you have everything, status, and you have access, so that you could make it a photograph, and you keep that in your drawing room. And the desire you had, the same desire, the child who did not get that scope, he had also the same desire. But due to underprivileged position, he could not able to enjoy that prevailing condition. Okay. So for that reason, we we should understand the that absurd drama, how in absurd drama, waiting for Godot, the characters, they represent the thoughts of all human beings. All human beings, they suffer from they suffer from some sorts of pain and agony inside. Outside, they look like human being, they look happy, but originally there is lot of problems in our mind. We are hollow men, right? We are like statues. As the statue don't have anything else in their brain. The same particles of stone and solidness that we find in is the brain. The particle that you find in the brain, the same particle you'll find in other portions of the statue. The same thing, human being. They look like human being, but originally he's not human being. He's a hollow man. There is nothing else. There is only dawn in the mind of modern man. Right? We live life without any understanding, without any interpretation, right? But criticism, absurdism, that talks, that reminds us about existentialism, the thought of existentialism, that all human beings are trying hard to live a better life, but we just cannot that. And if you have 1000 pieces of dress, you every day you are also suffering. Which dress should I put on today? And the man who even if some people are there who do not have any cloth at all to wear, they have single pair of dress to put on, they don't have this problem. The same problem he is also feeling, that I have only one piece of dress, so other people they have lot of dresses, so they are changing their dress twice a day, but I cannot change a dress unless it is torn. And you realize this, if you have, you have suffering. If you do not have, you have also suffering. The poor suffers. Sometimes the uh, okay, this is the things that we find with the topic waiting for Godot, right? And the next thing that you want to know about this topic, because this is a topic, it's a modern drama, and it created even if till this time such type of drama has never written by any dramatist, and as if it has become first and last. Such type of status, no drama uh, able to reach uh, in such status, that the status has been achieved by voting for Godot, right? And it is the crisis of existence. We all human beings suffer from, right? So, and basically, the concept of godhood, religion, that put human being more in problem, and we spend all our times thinking about God, thinking about super quality superhuman being, thinking about heaven and hell, and which is right, which is wrong, which is virtue, which is sinful. We just try to distinguish in between these things, because and the man who has ability, he can make his own rule and regulation. A poor man search for religion, and person an adventurous person, he will venture to do anything that he liked. A weak man, he cannot able to do anything that he wants to do, because due to his weakness he cannot achieve that. And the person who achieved something in his life, he became the messiah, he will be the leader, and he will be the icon of society, so that society will follow him and follow his footprints. And what a law, ethics, that he makes other people, incapable persons, weak persons, by the name of God, by the name of religion, by the name of spirituality, they all will follow that. So this is the thing that you find with waiting for Godot, and it's a great thing that reflected by Samuel Beckett in this drama Waiting for Godot. Okay? Hello?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Again, we'll meet with another drama. Actually, this question was being put by one of the
Thank you, sir.
learners that which block I'm teaching, right? So, regarding that blocks and the things, the way you find questions, you find that questions in assignment, but questions that common questions comes from the book. Waiting for Godot regarding the things of existentialism that you get, absurdism that you find with characters, right? Why this literature came to life after Second World War? What sorts of mentality begot this idea and begot this drama, absurd drama? Okay, and what regime that the crisis of existence is prevailing often. Follow me. And it talks because the drama that we find, the Egypts that we find developed after World War, the real part of literature has come out. And if you read a poem, the pleasure that you get, if you read criticism, if you are able to understand the criticism, then maximum pleasure you'll get out of that. You can sharpen your brain if you read criticism. Very interesting things they'll find in criticism, right? And varieties of literature, not in Indian literature, because this sorts of literature was not written in Indian context, right? It's only in Western thought this new thought developed, and this has come to move to different part of countries, and they try to match their context with these regimes, so that a new type of thought innovated in literature. Okay, so tomorrow you suggest that what should we discuss tomorrow? Yes,
Sir, Dr. Faustus.
right. uh, okay, we'll discuss Dr. Foster's tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then the
Sir, tomorrow the class will be the same time, right?
same
Okay,
time.
sir.
Uh, okay.
The technical, the link is sent to me. I did not go to that link. I linked myself with the previous day link. That link was not sent by the regional center, rather that was sent by Apsana. So that with that link, I tried my best to connect myself with all of you, but I failed. Since 2 days and 3 days, I'm trying, but uh, I failed to connect myself with all of you. It became problem for me, and I think it's got okay. And from tomorrow, right now, we'll also we may not have any problem also in
Sir, if there have any changes in the timing, please just to say, let me have the information earlier, because I am working here in, still I am working. So I want to just find out the time.
Okay, you are working till up to 5. Your office must be
No,
complete.
sir, really I am working in Dubai. There have difference of 1.5 hours from India and the Dubai time.
Oh, what is the time now in Dubai?
Now 4:13.
Oh, you are back by time,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we
yeah,
are.
yeah. So no, it's not a matter, sir. Sir, if there have any changes only, just let me know. That's only.
No, okay. I'll
Okay, sir.
from the same
And
time, 4 o'clock.
and Sir, on the way, I want to just request my student batches, if they have any WhatsApp group, let them add my name also, please. I want just to get the information day by day.
I think your voice was hard to all the learners those are present with me now,
Ah,
and also request if anyone help this gentleman to link him in WhatsApp group so that any information that you want to give regarding class and time, so that you get that. You please connect him and make a WhatsApp group so that we all could be connected and you could, all could be interacted with each other. Yep.
yeah, and also it will be better for us to just have the assignment
Actually,
and
sir, it's actually in the chat box. The link is shared in the chat box. So you can kindly check that link and
and
try to add yourself. If it's not working, kindly drop your phone number.
okay, I tried 2 3 times, but nobody was in the group in those times. So can I just say my mobile number so that you can just add me in the WhatsApp?
Okay.
Please write down, please. Uh, 00971
Okay.
50
Okay.
46
46
88
88
447.
447.
Uh,
Okay.
my, my name is Vijayan.
Okay.
Okay, it will be a forever for me. So far, I am just having these difficulties. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, sir, you can continue. If you want to say something, we are eagerly listening.
Okay, but at least I should know that whether you suffer in the classes or you enjoy or you have problems that you find with classes. At least you should let me know
Hello,
that so that
hello, sir.
I'll try.
Hello, hello, sir. Can
Hello.
you repeat the number, please, sir?
Okay, okay. 00971.
Uh,
It's a
and
code of Dubai. Double
okay,
zero nine seven one is the code of Dubai. And okay, can I repeat?
repeat.
00971
71, 71,
5 50
50,
46
46,
88
88,
447.
447. Thank you.
Okay.
From tomorrow, class time is same, 4 o'clock. We'll sit again. We'll meet at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank
Right,
you.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Well.
Sir, actually, can we get any notes or PPT or any PDF or PPT like notes kind of material from you, whatever classes you're taking?
I'll say just within this meantime, I'll send you that PDF. Taking photograph, I'll send. Okay.
Okay, sir. Because we
Thank
are
you.
actually having a group and there we are sharing whatever material we are getting from the professors or whatever we are actually learning, study material of such sort. So it will be really helpful if you have any material regarding this MEG2.
That now for this dimension, I should suggest one thing that so whatever topic that you read, you know, try to
Huh,
know the gist. Right? That is common thing.
huh.
Then you can able to interpret that in different ways. If you don't have any basic knowledge on topic, then you cannot attend any
Hmm,
sorts of questions by in examination to you. So this is the basic thing. Thereafter, we can
hmm,
interpret that. We should think, then we'll move to different angles. to interpret the
Okay.
topic, from which angle topic is analyzed, for what reason it is told, what is the purpose of the dramatist or the reader to write these sorts of play, because they're not writing anything emotional, right? It's not a poem. Poem is written
Yes.
emotionally. Out of emotion, it is produced. But a drama is not the matter, like such type of things. Emotion is not there. Everything is added intelligently. The dramatist take care of to add all things that he wants to put together, so that only
Mm-hmm.
to impress the audience, will draw the attention of audience
Yes.
to watch the drama, to get the characters. So very intelligently it's being done. So for that reason, we can also interpret that in different ways, because you must have an idea regarding a reader's response. In a reader's response, the thing is that the fate of a book or text that grow with the knowledge of a reader, right? We all are
Mm-hmm. Yes,
1,000
yes.
viewers are watching a drama, right, or play, but we don't accept
And
that in
everyone
different
gets
way.
their own
Your intelligence,
perception.
right, your knowledge, your understanding, your interpretation, that will help you to interpret the character. Otherwise, if you are emotionally surcharged, your acceptance and understanding will not be good. It will not be impartial, rather that impartial, because you are guided by that emotion. Emotional person cannot be
Mm-mm-mm.
intelligent. And to be intelligent, then you have to be impartial. So this is the things that uh, so oh, the basic thing that I want to say to all of you, that whenever you get yourself prepared for examination, you just know the context. Then
Okay.
you move to uh, other things. That is, it is the contextual. First, it should be the contextual. Thereafter, we should move to sub-content. Then other parts, other things, plot, main plot, idea, main idea, stories, all the things that will be interpreted and that will be discussed later. So, uh, in
Okay.
drama, with drama, novel, but poetry is something different. In poetry, you'll have to read minimum the text to know the things, because some annotation comes in examination, you just cannot understand from which chapter, from which topic this these lines comes from. You cannot guess unless you have gone through that textually. The style of writing can give you knowledge
Mm-hmm.
that this must be right poet. So a drama detailed story is required for that reason. Okay, but when you will have criticism, criticism is very
Okay.
interesting, very interesting, and it is more interesting than other part of literature. You have that is also in MEG. Okay, MEG
Because
5.
we are trying to
You have
convey our own whatever we understood from the text. Yeah. Critically analyzing.
because I am discussing a lot of
Thank you.
things about criticism, because as I'm giving MEG 2 discuss with you, they may not give me chance to discuss anything about criticism. So that's most important thing. Very difficult matter, because scientifically literature has been discussed there, and very scientifically knowledge will have to grow to understand that criticism. You can write the story, but that is not, the story is not there. In the criticism, story is not there. The concepts are there. You have to clear that concept.
Mm-hmm.
Most important concepts of literature are there. Existentialism, as you were telling, these type of things, and someone asked me questions, what are the characteristics of absurdism? What are the characteristics of existentialism? And we just cannot go to that angle, because it will take a lot of time to discuss. Because it is my favorite topic. Criticism is my favorite topic, right? So if we go to that
Mm-hmm.
portion, then I may not cope with, just to complete the things that I I'm fixed to discuss with you, that may not be done properly. For that reason, and voting for Godot, I I went to different angles only because there is no story. Only four persons, four characters are voting for Godot, and the message comes time to time that
But
someone will
sir,
come.
I have
No.
one doubt. Sir, I have one
Okay.
doubt. Like, can we say that Waiting for Godot, like if you compare Waiting for Godot and Myth of Sisyphus, you have a happy ending kind of thing in Myth of Sisyphus, where Sisyphus actually started enjoying when he started climbing down the mountain. So he's finding his purpose in his life during that period. So but in Waiting for Godot, the ending is mostly like they are waiting meaninglessly. Can we say that it is more of it ends with more of absurd tone than existent? I mean, they are trying to bring in existentialism, the theory into it, but they ended with absurdity. Can we say prove it like that? Like can we write it like that? Waiting for Godot.
You see, in this Godot, voting for Godot, and you want to the myth of Sisyphus, and this is the common thing. This happens in life of every and each individual, right?
Hmm.
That we say what we know that we are we are just achieving something, some success in our life. Again, the same success going away one after another from us, and when the pursuit, when individual is pleasure, your question was like this: our endeavor, our effort is pleasure, achievement is pain. Follow me?
Sir?
So
Yeah, yes,
suppose
sir.
that suppose you are trying you are trying to get you are trying to get this.
بس شو مش معنى هذه أمين يا أخوي
Hello?
حامل سوشي
And the the that you open your eyes to get yourself prepared for the IS examination, and at last you got that, and when you got that, the pleasure that you are getting in your preparation, if we compare the pleasure of achievement and pleasure of trial, both will not be equal. Your endeavor, dream is pleasure, reality is pain. We dream, we get pleasure. We dream to become, when we close our eyes and dream for something else, we feel pleasure as if we became such. And when suppose a man is to become the prime minister, throughout life he has dedicated a sacrifice, he kept himself quite involved in politics, and so many hurdles he has come upon. At last he became the prime minister. But the moment he sat on the throne of that prime minister, he is not happy. He is also trying to take care of that, because at any moment he is be dethroned by others. And he's worried about that. He's worried about his chair. He's worried about his position. Then what is pleasure? We are tired, we dedicated, we lost all our times in our life to achieve that success, and we got that in spite of, when the moment I got that, I don't feel any okay, because I'm much worried than previous time. Why? Because this is the life, this is the reality. When Sisyphus is trying, Sisyphus is trying to keep that or put that on the top of that mountain, but he's trying, and with a dream he's moving, that this chance I must be succeeded putting this stone ball on the top of that mountain. And every time he has this dream. If he had understood and this thought never will become true in life, then he would not endeavor for that. And we are doing that. If you do labor, God is there to help you. If I am doing labor, how does God help me? I get result of my own labor. My labor is my fate. And where is the position of God? That is nothing else, because our mind is captivated by the thought of Godhood. Right? We spend all our times, Pujo, Loki, Vladimir, and Extragon, all are, they have spent their life. They have no work at all. They have no business at all. They are thinking about God.
Hmm.
They are watching for God. They are waiting to meet with the God. This is the thing. And is it not the absurdity? Is it not the idea of absurdity? Right? Vladimir
Yes,
is showing
it is
it in
more of
no
absurdity. Huh. Yes, sir.
right. It's more absurdity. This is called absurd drug. And human being with crisis of identity. We all are trying to establish our identity on earth. We want that I am such and such. I am Mr. X. I have this sort of position. I have this position, this power. So these are the fake things that human being gets satisfaction out of it. And this is called fake identity. And when a man who did not have this sorts of position and he is dreaming to become such, the moment he becomes such, again the same position, he felt like this. He became prostrated. Our trial is happiness, achievement is pleasure. Dream is pleasure and reality is pain. Right? When you find a person distance, you feel very good person. It will his mentality will suit to me. You have not, because everything you try to find positively with that person. But when the person came to you physically, and when you come with the person mentally, you found the way I accepted this man, he's not a man of that temperament, he's something different. So my judgment became wrong. So this is not the wrong or right judgment. This is the common judgment of all human beings. This is the common judgment of all human beings. Right? We try to be identified
Yes.
with the existence of God. This is the problem. Right? If I could never become, if I could not be a man of high status, if my brother became the man of high status, then I also got some pleasure out of that. Actually, that's not the reality. That is not the reality. We all are very individual. We are very subjective. We live together. We have made a discipline. We have just made a bond to live together. But we are not, our thoughts are not equal. Right? We think in different ways. Our appearance is different. Our activities are different. Automatic, our thoughts, our dreams, they will be different. And with this differentness, how could we try to be one? It is impossible. So we understand that if I go to Kashmir, then that will be highest pleasure of my life. But the moment you reached at Kashmir, you found there is a terrorism, there is bloodshed, violence, and the climate is very cloudy. The scenery is beautiful, but when you compare that scenery with the violence activities, that became hell for you. The heaven of earth will turn up hell of earth, right? So for the people of Kashmir, Kashmir itself is hell of the earth, hell of India. But we, the people, those who are living in this part or distance from that Kashmir, we feel that Kashmir is heaven of the earth or heaven of India. This is the because our dream gives us pleasure, and the waiting for Godot that gives them pleasure. It's waiting gives us pleasure. That waiting itself is not reality. That waiting itself is a dream, right? So this thing, that we find, that the thing you asked about, that myth of Sisyphus, and the ending part of waiting for Godot. In waiting for Godot, we find there is no beginning, there is no end. We born because we didn't have a dream to come to this earth, and we will die. We don't have dream to die. Reluctantly, we have come to this earth, and with same reluctantly, we will also depart from this earth. So, our beginning is not beginning, our end is not end. Every end is a beginning, and every beginning is an end. So, very crisis of existence, we all human beings face all times. Okay. So I think you enjoy the gems of literature, and it will give you more pleasure than the reality of drama.
Thank you, sir.
You belong to
Thank you,
which
sir.
class? Hello? You belong
Sir,
to Uttra. Uttra, you belong
I
to
am
which
from
place?
Tamil Nadu, sir. Tamil Nadu, sir.
अच्छा, Tamil Nadu. अच्छा. So, a regional center connect students from all parts of, even if outside, internationally, no?
Sir,
Yes,
actually,
sir. Yes, sir.
there are a lot of people from abroad and from all over India in one class right now. So,
Okay. That's very good. And real humanity is established through IGNOU. There is no
sir,
geographically, okay? Yes. Now, ask me. Yes, what to
yes, sir.
ask me, please ask. So I'm very happy that we come upon each other from different parts of the world. So, as it is an international university, and you must have gained this knowledge that the certificate is as good as a regular course. There is no difference. You can have all sorts of
The
privilege
the
like
only
regular.
problem is we have very limited time to do any kind of discussion, sir. That is the only
What?
problem. We have very limited time to discuss all these so things, sir.
That happens. That's a problem. Actually, we need, I always encourage to that study centers to arrange that offline classes, because in offline classes, if you find some students sitting in classroom and you are standing on the desk and delivering the speech and discussing everything face to face, actually that is very interesting. And then the classes on virtual mode, because I cannot see your faces and you can see me, but only I can see your name and only name, and you have mute yourself. So when you need to put certain questions, you just unmute and ask me, interact with me, and we get only few hours, only 2 hours time to interact uh, among us. In spite of that, you see that you have got my number with you. After that, if you, when this when this MEG is over, MEG-2 is over, you can have also interaction with me, right? I'm
Sir,
ready to
what's your
interact
number?
with all.
Sir, your number?
Can you give us your number,
My
sir?
number is not, yes, my number is 7008
Sir,
Sir,
please
again.
repeat once again.
7008 758 624.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
If you have, if Vijay problem from Dubai, if it is possible, you please try to help him, because he's from long distance. He's in abroad, and timing factor is problem there. And if he needs any cooperation from you, please you extend your cooperation to him,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes,
Try
sir.
to
Definitely.
just help me, sir. Also, it's another thing. Also, I am an aged person, 65 finished already.
Sir,
So I need
actually, if
more
you
help
if
from.
nobody is actually if you cannot join the WhatsApp group, just take any one of us number and you try to
Okay.
reach us, because your number is pretty with number code and everything. Sometimes it will be difficult for Indians to add you. So you can take
Okay.
any
No
of us
problem.
number and you can text them, and through that we can add you to that group.
Any number? Can you just share with me now?
Already added. Already added.
Already added. Okay.
I'll add it. Okay.
Then,
Then it's
okay. I'll try
then
to
it's
just
fine.
find out from there. Anyway, it will be a favor for me because
So there's a drive. There is a Google Drive link attached to that WhatsApp group. You can go through that. We have uploaded the assignment topics for all the subject, and we are uploading one novels and whatever prescribed for us
okay.
subject. We are uploading those things, and whatever after every classes, if there is any PPTs professors are giving, then we are also uploading that into it. You can check.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Okay. Okay. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Paul. Thank you. Thank
Sir,
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank Okay.
thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.